Greetings, this is Greg Hutchins from Huntington, Indiana, USA, and today I'm going to take you through some EQ setups and mimicking other EQs using a generic EQ to mimic maybe your favorite EQ, whether it be hardware or another software. Maybe you want the same settings and some of the same things that you get from a software plugin, but just looking for maybe a different sound quality. So I am running Pro Tools 11. And as you can see here, I have several things open up, and let me bring all of that stuff back to the front. And I have just several channels set up. On the first channel, I have an API 550B, and that's the one we're going to be modeling our information from. And then on the next two channels, we have two Q4s, which I believe are just Avid generic plugins that come with Pro Tools. Over here, I have some information concerning the 550B, and mainly what we're looking for is that it has 4 bands of EQ, 12 dB of boost or cut per band. There's shelf peak switching on bands 1 and 4, and there is some other information here, but we're not going to delve into some of that. The first band of EQ on the API will run from 2.5 all the way up to 20K, and I've got that set at 12.5. Now this top Q10 4-band EQ that we have here, I've already set these up with some of the settings for the API. The ones down here are the ones we're going to be showing you how to set. The switches here on the API are the ones that show you shelf and peak, and I've got them set to shelf. That's one of the typical ways I would use them. So on this one, our highs are set on the top. However, on the Q4, the highs typically you find them on the bottom. If you see the default, not 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right, so 4 being the highs. So that is a shelf EQ, so we're going to set that to the high shelf, and you won't see any change there. But then we're also going to set the number 1 EQ to a low shelf, and again, no change there. And so that gets us on our way. That mimics these switches here. And then I've already set some things kind of generally in the middle. So we have 12.5K. So we're going to if we double click, we can just type in our settings. I have the next one set at 5K, so 5,000. And then the next one is set at 500. And type that in. And then finally, the lowest frequency right now I have set at 100. All right, and now you notice that no longer our EQs grouped up here, but they're spread out. A couple other things to point out. The API has 18 dB of plus or minus. However, our output only has a plus or minus 12 dB. It actually has a minus 24 and then a plus 12. So we kind of have the same type of dynamics in that we've got 36 dB of room here. However, it's only a 12 dB boost, but a negative 24. So that is one of the big differences in the API compared to the setting it up this way. The other thing is the API actually, as you get more extreme, the Q narrows on that. So that's a quality of the API that we would not be able to mimic on our settings here. So once we have those set, the one other thing I want you to keep in mind is that the API has a negative 12 to 12 dB boost for the EQ, and if we scroll up here, we actually have 18, and scroll down, and we have 18. We could also see that by this chart right here on the EQ. So hopefully that walks you through, so you'd be able to model something that maybe you'd like to model something after. And hope this helps. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.